engine scream and roar. Northwest Truck Series is kicking down the door. Arca rigs are flying, dusting up the pines. Sasquatch in the stands, sipping moonshine. Feel the tires burn, hear the crowd ignite. iRacing's finest, day or night. From the Rockies to the coastal line, LSRTV's where the legends shine. Oh, Northwest Racing, let the good times roll. These race covers got rebellious souls. So crank it up loud, hear the engine scream. And LSRTV is bringing you the stream. Yeah, Northwest Racing reigns supreme. 3 wide in the corner, engines revving high. A southern tradition, beat the Northwest sky. Checkered flags are waving, hearts beat like a drum. Sasquatch roars for every single roar. Feel the tires burn, hear the crowd ignite. iRacing's finest, day or night. From the Rockies to the coastal line, LSRTV's where the legends shine. Oh, Northwest Racing, let the good times roll. These race covers got rebellious souls. Crank it up loud, hear the engine scream. And LSRTV is bringing you the stream. Northwest Racing reigns supreme. Guitars are slinging, tracks taking a groove. Northwest boys got nothing to prove. Grabbing gears and rubbing doors. Northwest racers always bringing more. Oh, Northwest Racing, let the good times roll. These race covers got rebellious souls. Crank it up loud, hear the engine scream. LSRTV is bringing you the stream. Northwest Racing reigns supreme. Watch Northwest Racing with Charles, Wesley, and Jeremy on LSRTV. And maybe Bigfoot too.
Trying to find speed? The team at Dirt Tire Warehouse and Piranha Race Tire Service shall exactly that. Don't believe us? Check out the race winner stickers on the Fast Guys cars. We groove, sight, match, size, and mount your dirt racing tires so you're race ready every time. Dirt Tire Warehouse and Piranha Race Tire Service. Take a bite out of the track and competition.
Elevate your next event with our next level screens. Bring them closer to the action. Stunning LED displays for sporting events, concerts and festivals, corporate conferences, trade shows, or seminars. Captivate your audience. We deliver, set up, and let your crowd see every moment. Provide real-time content updates. Advertise to large audiences. And with our content services on site, reach maximum exposure. This is Done Right TV, LED screen rentals and sales. Call or visit us online. Bookings are going fast.
What really sets On-Demand Shirts apart from everybody else is our people. Our people really care about every job that comes through here and they treat it as their own. That paired with state-of-the-art equipment that we use on everything that we touch, that's really what ends up providing the top-notch quality that you guys come to expect. Because we've printed stuff from anywhere from a small boutique shop all the way to Fortune 500 companies, we have experience that goes all across every industry you can think of. From a very small job to 200,000 plus shirt job, we can handle it. Your brand is more than just a logo, it's an identity. At On Demand Shirts, we create professional apparel that makes a statement. From uniforms to corporate gifts, your brand is in good hands. Contact us today so we can help elevate your company.
We are back after a 4th of July break. Oh, it's time for school again. People are bandaged and wearing neck braces.
I reacted late again. That code didn't save me.
Group Therapy 175 brought to you by the big one. Oh my God, help us
I have
all.
actually not seen this one. This is my first time seeing it.
Hi, I checked up on the backstretch. Help me help you hold your line, a spotter's guide. Crystal Shake, Deer 8 pound 6 ounce baby draft. Shake and Bake Counseling. Second place is the first place loser's partner. Oh, I reacted late again. Netcode didn't save me. Remember, help me help you. World's okayest therapist. God almighty, man. I'm
I'm
telling you.
trying to figure out what car is flipping in that picture of the crash.
It looks like
It's
tomatoes from Cars. It looks like
it's
tomatoes.
unrecognizable. All right.
Oh boy. Anyhow,
This is
everybody, we're back. What a
that's
way to come
great.
on the air, but we're here. We're here. I promise you, we're here. We're ready. We hope you are too. Welcome to the Northwest Racing Series. Oh,
Truck
boy.
fun. We got 3 weeks left, Wesley,
Ridiculous.
until spring fun time is over.
I want it to end.
I know. We're gonna have just as much fun in the fall as we did here in the spring.
Yes, sir. And the logos will continue. We're being told they will continue during the off season. So now, everybody, listen. We welcome you to coverage along with Jeremy Stanley. I am Wesley Outland. This is the coverage of the, of course, awesome folks. That is the Northwest Racing Series, LSRTV, CRN, and we're getting ready for a good one, man. I hope you are. I hope everybody's doing well, and we're ready to see what goes down here tonight, Jeremy.
Yeah. It's been a little bit since I've called a super speedway broadcasted race, so this will be fun all in itself. What last time we did this was back in March, so
Yeah.
we're 3 or 4 months removed from that. No idea how this is gonna go. That is the fun series, so we could see potential just 3 wide all over the place. But I also know these trucks and super speedways on iRacing are. I don't know if we're gonna get a bunch of that. The ARCA series is gonna be crazy on Thursday. You better believe that. But tonight, I don't know how crazy these guys are gonna get with how the aero package works. So I'll be really curious to see how they tackle that. And we might get. I don't know. What's the over-under on these cautions? They've picked up on the caution count recently, so it has me kind of worried for tonight, but I also know they do really clean super speedway racing, so...
Yeah, we'll see what
do you think
happens.
the over-under is there?
Right now, looks like Jake Peningoro is put himself as the fast man in the Talladega, 55.014 seconds. If we're down to the final 3 races, Jacob, of the spring, Jeremy, of the spring series, make no mistake about it, that Talladega has to be the wild card. I know this is the Spring Fun Series for the trucks and for ARCA this week, but I'll tell you what, man, you never know. And I know jokingly we show the AI picture when we come on the air and we laugh and we cut up about it. But the fact of the matter is this: when these guys get on this racetrack, it ain't no joke. They have got to be on their A game. There's got to be patience. There's got to be some give and take. And you have got to find a way to survive 66 laps. And most importantly, you got to avoid the big one.
You always got to. There's always that chance, right? And they're all grouped up nice and tight. One spin out in the front and can wreck half the field. But it looks like they're starting to grid up here on the front stretch. That's great to see. We don't have the 5 minutes of downtime like we did before. And Tyler King has a 54-point lead, by the way, over Ryan Bay, second place, with the driver count being in the 30s at 34. If Tyler King has a wreck early, you know, that whole season of work can just be eliminated in one race.
There you go. I'm proud of you if we have a new grid. I'm going to be proud of you.
No. Is it really?
Wait, I hate you. We're ready to go.
Wow.
We don't have a grid yet. All right, we don't have a grid, so it's got to do it. We got to do better. You know what? You had a friggin' week. You had a week off, 2 weeks off. You know? Oh, well, Jake Pittingore, everybody's on the pole in the Ram. To the outside, Ryan Bay, row number 1. There they are, the 10 of the 29 on row number 1, Chevrolet and Ram. Row 2 finds Ford and Toyota, so all 4, Jacob, all 4, Jeremy, manufacturers are on the first 2 rows. I like that. Tyler King and Sean Brightsman, the 21 and the 46. We move on to row number 3. Then we're going to find Bryce Dickman, Josh Childress, and Toyotas and Chevrolets. Fords for row 4 with Paul Newton, Trevor Fetchner. Row 5, Toyota, Chevrolet, Callum Gabroy, and Taylor Alto. Top 10.
11th and 20, I got it here, Wyatt. So Gary Nichols in 11th. Kevin Smith will start in 12th. Row 7, you'll find Ray Partridge there in 13th. Nate Garski does start in 14th. Travis Barnes starts in 15th place. Jason Leake takes 16th. Jeff Stabnow 17th. Toby Ritter's in 18th. Troy Dega 19th. Ryan McLeod completes top 20.
Rest of the lineup as the field begins to roll behind them. Cue up the music again, please. We find Devin Matthews and Brian Barnes, row 11. It's going to be me, Tom Wygett, Tim Garski, John Allenbacher, Stephen Paulison, Devin West, Dan West Jr., and Dana Rogers, top 30. Back of the pack finds Frank Harris, Seth Cooper, Kevin Smith, Dennis Moore. 34 trucks, 17 rows, Jacob. I'm sorry, Jeremy.
That's okay, Wyatt. We'll get there.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm sorry, Jeremy. Yes, Jeremy. I'm sorry. I just called another race, and the guy's name was Jacob Reeves. So I'm just trying to go from one race to the next race, okay? And old age is settling in, too. Y'all don't believe that old age happens, but it does.
Well, your number starts with a 3, just like mine. So, Kevin Smith, Dennis Moore, not starting in the grid. They are starting from pit road, it looks like. So, going to be 32 taking the green flag. 2 should presume to come out of pit road right after that. And, yep, I assumed that you had a Jacob counterpart there on the other broadcast.
You had a Wyatt?
Leaking through more. No, I just created that name just to be similar.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just
I'll call you Jacob. You call me Wyatt. So, yeah. Jeremy, Jacob. I got you. Jeremy, Jacob, Wyatt, Wesley. I got you. I'm catching on. So,
perfect.
No, but Jeremy, it is great for all of us to be back there, man. Hope you had a great 4th of July. I know I did. I've been on the road announcing races all weekend, but my God, it's been hot. Look at the weather for Talladega tonight.
Yeah, fake news weather right here.
Temperatures there like that. I'll tell you what, 75 should be a good one. Humidity only 61%.
Listen,
wow.
Delaware, 4th of July was 90 degrees. Woo! You know it's a problem when it's that far up in the Northeast. So, but here we go. Pace vehicle down, throttles out already. Green flag in the air to close out the final 3 races of the truck season. Dead heat here for your top 2. And here we go into turn number 1, Wes.
This is Talladega. And you have a race. Peningoro on the jump gets the whole shot. Bay up on the outside. Right now, everybody just kind of playing patient. Can we turn the sound up a little bit? The truck sound, Charles, please, my friend. There we go.
There it is.
Ryan Bay powers back out to the lead as they go into turn 3. Jeremy ready to wrap up lap number 1. By the way, they're going to go 66 laps. There's 2 stages. Stage 1 to lap 20, and then the push to the finish for another 46 laps to the checkered flag.
Fuel mileage 100% unknown. And so I would assume if it's 100% fuel tank, it's roughly about 30 laps roughly there. So they should, in theory, be able to go all the way to the end, even if they have a short fuel tank to the end of stage 1. Stage 2, you will find a guaranteed pit stop somewhere in the race. We just don't know when or where. So we do have Bryce Dickman on tap just in case. If we get a caution, we can kind of get an idea of the fuel mileage. But 2 by 2 by 2 here for lap number 2. The top 3 on the inside. Sean's trying to get any help there from Tyler King. He's all over the back bumper. There's just not much momentum up there.
Working now through the tri-oval. Coming to the line, putting lap number 2 now on the board with Bane out in front. Now a big push from the help by Tyler King and some other Alto machines. Pushing Brightsman now to try to run down Ryan Bay. Put him up to 3rd and 4th. Piningoro, Childress now, all on the inside. Brightsman getting an outside lane push. Chick-fil-A truck up high. What are you going to do? The 41 now gets back inside. That was Garski in the 40, my apologies.
Gonna go over to P2 there, trying to help the outside line make some moves. Tyler King goes really wide for no reason. Taylor Alto has to check up. He gets shifted out. Partridge looks to go 3 wide, decides not to do it, but then right behind him, truck number 40 gonna sweep to the outside. As we go 3 wide for the first time this evening on lap number 3 on YouTube. Ace High Racing says, let's go racing, boys. And the Ritters family says, let's go, Toby. That's for truck number 3, Toby Ritters.
Good to see
Anyone's
Toby
got a
Ritters
chance
back
here.
again.
That's right.
And remember, he won Daytona, Jeremy.
That's right. He sure did. And maybe he can get here and try to compete right now. He's kind of hanging out in the back. He's got a lot of work ahead of him there. Got that stage break to reset, but let's see if he can maneuver around these trucks here. Because it looks like right now it's kind of hard to pass without that 3 wide being available. And the outside's just kind of lackluster at the moment. The inside's so strong. It's going to be very difficult to get from the back to the front here tonight.
Heading all the way back into the corner again with Bay out in front. Good solid run right now. Everybody just being patient. Just working their way down the back straightaway. The Alabama gang super stretch, as they call it. This is the smart thing to do, though, Jeremy. You got 30 trucks. You got them all in line. This is what you need to do right here. Just be patient. Just, you know, get in line, top to bottom. Pick your friends, pick your running mates, pick who you're going to try to draft with, whatnot, and then just work your way from there.
Percent here completing lap number 5. Ryan Bay, Richard Childress, Josh Childress, and Bryce Dickman, your top 3. Single filed at the bottom before you got Jake Pinagore there in truck number 10. The first one leading the outside lane with Tyler King, Taylor Alto right behind him. Still door to door is 3rd and 4th place. The top 2, Childress and Bay, still holding it single file glued to the double yellow line on the inside. As we go 3 wide for about 10th place here. 2 trucks up at the top. It's going to be the number 3 of that Toby Ritters and the number 40 of Garski. So 2 trucks trying to do anything, and honestly, they actually got some momentum here. I don't know how long this can carry for them, but they're hanging tough.
Bay, Childress, Dickman, Peningoro, Newton, top 5 as they work their way down into the corner again. Across the stripe here. Remember, in Talladega, you are literally going all the way to the end of the tri-oval at the pit lane exit before you cross the start-finish line.
Got some more friends up on the outside. 4 trucks on the 3rd lane, continuing to hold 3 wide. Down the back straightaway on lap number 7. Top 2 still single file at the very bottom of the track. Then you have about 5, 6 trucks on the middle lane. They're separated 3 and 3, about 3 car lengths in between them. And then you got the outside top 4. Garsky, Ritters, Partridge, Jeff Stabnow, top 4 there on the top. As we complete here, lap number 7, the 29 is going to lead all 7 laps to open up this event.
Working now down into the turn again. There goes Ryan Bay trying to block Garsky. Garsky now. Oh! Garsky's in trouble. And it implodes the field behind them. Trucks darting high, darting low, spinning, crashing. From the top of the safer barrier to the inside of the apron. Caution out. Lap number 7 of this one. Oh, wow, man.
Tyler King's involved. Remember I said if he gets a wreck early, this could potentially ruin his whole entire points battle.
You're right.
And he's in it. He's got some heavy left rear damage. Here's the 38 grinding the inside wall. Let's kick it back a little bit further here. You know Charles has got it. There's the 40 with that massive hit to the outside wall. His engine's expired, so Nate's out of this thing. As we're going to kick it to a little VHS rewind. We're going to roll the tapes back. We're going to try to... But there's a lot of movement there, a lot of blocking, and right there, Garsky just blocked the 10. Not enough space, obviously. Crosses the nose over. Truck just naturally turns right to the outside wall. About 6 or 7 trucks damaged here. Late clip there sends the 34 Matthews into the wall. That should be an easy repair, but nonetheless, just a last second unawareness check. But man, that was a heavy contact with the 40. All 4 wheels up off the ground. We'll get the final number here, maybe, but at least 9 or 10 trucks with damage.
So, caution out. Early going. I don't see anybody coming down
Nope.
to pit road. I just don't see it, Jeremy.
They got the fuel mileage. They shouldn't, right? Yep, we're going to stay clear. No pits for the guys up front. Of course, the ones that are damaged are going to have to come down for repairs. So pit road will be busy on the back half of the field. Just like that, we got Bryce Dickman, who had some fuel mileage information. He told me to bring him up if I wanted to. He's in 4th place. I'm going to pull him here just for a moment. Hey, Bryce, this is Jeremy and Wesley in the booth. You had some fuel mileage information for me. You told me to pull you early if needed. We got prime time right here. What do we got?
Yes, sir. So we're looking at about 31 laps in the draft. If it goes green. Caution, I think I can make it to 32, but that's about it. That's what we got.
That confirms one guaranteed pit stop.
Hey, Bright, how different, man, are these trucks compared to the ARCA car that you won in a few weeks ago before the July 4th break, buddy?
They're a little bit trickier. I actually enjoy them more probably than the ARCA car, but for some reason I think I'm just a little bit more competitive in ARCA. But this is pretty good pace for me today. I'm happy with the top 5 running right now.
All right, dude, man. Well, got about a lap and a half left. 4th place, sitting nice and pretty right now. Good luck to you. Maybe we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So the
There you
18
go.
Bryce Dickman with some fuel mileage information. 31 laps. 32 if you go a little conservative. So that means guaranteed for sure pit stop. as we're going to have about, 36 to go after the start of stage 2 to complete. No, that's actually going to get a little bit further out, so it's going to be around 40-ish. So yeah, they're going to have to pit, I would imagine, somewhere halfway in the stage, maybe a little bit further out to complete the event.
And we'll get ready to try to at least get the one to go indication this time, but I think we will when they come back to the line. So, Jeremy, what'd you do for 4th of July, buddy? I know it was a hot one. I know you were talking about Delaware and how hot it was up there. I was in West Virginia and Virginia. I was supposed to go to Maryland yesterday for Hagerstown, but that got canceled. Or I'm sorry, Potomac, Maryland, and that got canceled because of the heat and the weather. I got home. It stormed all day. Hell, it's storming outside right now. It's lightning outside at my house in North Carolina. Yeah.
The storms are crazy, man. When the weather's hot like this, like, it is unpredictable. 4th of July, I only knew about the weather because I had someone tell me that it was hot up there. But
okay.
July 3rd, watched some fireworks at the port switch on the Space Coast in Florida. That is now, I think, the biggest port in the world. All the cruise ships park there. They take you all over the place. Mexico, Europe, Bahamas, all the islands down there. So we went down there and watched some fireworks from the barge.
Okay.
And then Saturday just had a pool party at a friend's house. And Sunday I had to work a little bit. So that was my weekend.
There you go.
Today we had a tornado within 5 miles of my house. Thankfully didn't touch down, but it definitely was halfway there. It wanted to. Storms are raging here bad.
Yeah, I drove through some storms on the way to Winchester on Saturday, July 4th, and yeah, pretty interesting weekend. Glad we got them in 2 out of 3. We knew actually going into the weekend that they had canceled Potomac. We knew we weren't going to Potomac. They pulled the plug because of the heat. So, but still got 2 out of 3. All right, lights off for the pace car. We will get ready for a restart. Trying to go back to racing. So yeah, man, fun. 4th of July. Everybody, we were off last week, obviously.
That's impressive. To cancel a race because of heat. I don't think I've ever heard that.
Dude,
you know it's bad
we live in a world today where people are pansies. I don't want to say that to make anybody mad, but it's the truth. Just pull the plug because it's too hot, it's too cold. I mean, it's like, man, come on. It's like my daddy used to tell me, you grin it and you bear it. Just like Charles just said, push the start back an hour and give everybody a free water. And honestly, Jeremy, as we come back to green, with under 10 to go in stage 1 with Ryan Bay back on the jump. That's exactly what Greg Gunner and Winchester Speedway in Virginia did on Saturday. They knew it was going to be hot. They knew there was a chance of some scattered storms. So they pushed back the start time by, instead of it being 6:30, they did 7:30. But actually, we didn't start until 9:30 because we had weather. We had weather in the air. It never per se hit, but it was in the vicinity of making it be a delayed start. But we got it in.
Free water should just be a thing the whole entire race.
Yeah.
I mean, even at 9 o'clock, it's still upper 80s, and it's kind of stupid. You got the high percentage of humidity, and yeah, 1,000%. I agree with all the tracks that just give out the free water. I typically don't like free stuff like that because you got to purchase what they bring in, but if you want fans in the seats, you got to provide them a little hydration. So there's that there. But we're back to green flag, 13 laps in, and scheduled 66 with 8 laps left to go in stage. The race lead is up for grabs. Side by side, Ryan Bay is under attack. For the first time, he's not leading this event. Josh Childress in the 39 has the outside momentum with Taylor Alto pushing him as the 39. Josh Childress drops to the bottom, leaves his partner Taylor Alto as he's now going to poke his nose slightly ahead on the second lane, bringing Bryce Dickman with him and John Ottenbacher, top 3 on the outside lane. Drag race to the line. Sean Brightsman in the 46. Jeff Stabnow in the 24. Going to lose 2, 4, 6 positions on the outside with no help whatsoever. Taylor Alto drops to the inside. He's going to lead that way on the inside. And he's going to lead Bryce Dickman in the second groove. Trying to get some help from Ottenbacher. Not enough momentum here. A little side draft, a little squirrely, 3 wide.
I'll tell you what, Jeremy, we might need to watch and see these Team LSRTV trucks hook up to the outside lane. You saw what Brightsman and Stabnow were able to do on their own. We got a couple of more trucks in front of them and behind them. If Team LSRTV could hook up and get up on the outside, he might push these trucks up against the outside safer barrier to get around the front runners. As right now, 6 to go. It's now Taylor Alto out in front at Talladega in turn 1 up the banking.
We know they got the numbers, West, but they got about 10 drivers that they kind of hook up with in that Talladega. That is crucial for teammates to work with one another. If you want your team to win, as right on the back camera of Jake Pinagora, truck number 10, looking back at the entire field here, really. Gary Nichols is the one directly in view. See Ottenbacher there, Bryce Dickman on the top. And he's going to slide up to the top of the track. Here goes truck number 10. Currently holds 4th place, running in the middle groove now. Going to try to pick up Bryce here as he closes in a little bit. One truck off the track onto pit road, unscheduled pit stop for somebody. Brian Barnes, truck number 4 is what it looks like. We're looking at a bunch of semis. There we go. Brian Barnes on pit road, unscheduled. Do you think he's doing this for points? Usually don't see a hop like this right before stage. Bryce knows he's got to make a pit stop on the second stage. Maybe he's doing it for points. Oh, his shoulders is off the track here mid-back stretch. This looks weird. Do a replay of that? If he got shoved down? If there was contact, it'd be on the events page. 0-10 Travis Barnes, blinky blinky, a lot of trucks on the top. We're 3 wide all the way through. Try to close these last 4 laps here in stage 1. This is the chaoticness I was wanting to see.
Yeah, it does look chaotic, don't it? 3 wide already, 3 by 3.
Lots of movement.
Stab now to the inside, Ottenbacher in the middle, Dickman, but he's got Bryce Dickman in front of him, and there's a side draft as the Garski truck, Home Depot colors, got a little squirmy there entering turn 2, but they save it down the super stretch.
Got a lot of movement right now, especially toward the front. This is how the wreck happened earlier in this race. A lot of movement in the front. End up in someone not being cleared and turning down across the nose. Hopefully we don't see it to end stage 1. A lot of contact between the 6 and the 0-10 up on the top lane. Matthews getting shoved around with Barnes right behind him. Top 5 or 6 are going to be single file at the bottom until Jeff Stabnow just pulled on the line. He's going to lead the middle groove here. Sean Brightsman jumps up there with him, but John Ottenbacher as well. So 3 trucks in the second groove. 3 versus 4 momentarily. There goes the 5 at Devin West. He's going to move up there in front of the 88 of Alto. 2.5 laps to go as they get to the back straightaway here.
Laps winding down here quickly in stage 1. Look at this big wad of traffic. Oh, hold on, Devin West. Little contact on the outside. Truck with a save. So did the 5. We're 4 wide. Into the corner coming out of 3 and 4. Somehow they hold it together with Ryan Bay holding off everybody through the tribals. Jeremy coming to the line. 2 to go here in stage number 1.
Ryan Bay back in a familiar place. Up at the front there with Jake Pinagora pushing him all the way through into turn number 1. Less than 5 miles left in stage 1. A lot of movement here from the bottom lane, the center lane, even deep in the back there where we're still maintaining a 3 wide presence. As Ryan Bay and Jake Pinagora get a nice 2-truck breakaway from the second lane momentarily. We'll see if they can get wound up at least one more time. There goes Jeff Stabnow to the top. He's going to try to lead Brightsman. Brightsman said, nope, I'm going to the 3rd lane, and we're going to split the pack. This is going to help the inside. Who's going to be the next driver to jump out of line? As we're 4 wide contact between Childress and Jeff Stabnow. Jeff goes from inside the top 5 to outside the top 10 just like that. 1 lap to go. Trucks into the wall.
Whoa, up into the wall. And somehow, Jeremy, they hold it together. But look at these guys on the bottom, 4 or 5 trucks inside. They're getting squirmy in the middle. Final lap in stage 1 in Talladega. They go to 3, buddy.
Who jumps out here right now? We're still 3 to 4 trucks, single file on the inside, jumping into turn number 3. Who's going to be that truck? Seth Cooper gets a great launch on the second lane. He's up there in 4th place, trying to bring Josh Childress with him. And they got a little bit extra momentum off the top of 4. Ryan Bay leads Jake Pinagura, Gary Nichols on the bottom. And just like that, they're going to stay nose to tail for the most part. Seth gets a great launch. Jake Pinagura gets spun out of lane. Caution for stage number 1 ending. I think the 10 of Jake Pinagura was safe of any wall contact, but he got kicked out in a violent spin right before the start-finish line.
The caution out. Stage 1 winner. As they were getting antsy there at the end, there you see our buddy in the 10, Pinagura, going around, fighting for the end of the first stage. No harm, no foul. Just spinning. I think he'll be credited for at least also second in the stage points also.
Well, the caution doesn't matter for stage.
They crossed the line. Yeah, they crossed the line. Stage over, Charles. Come on. Okay. Actually, you know what? He might have not be second. He might be back. I don't know what, maybe 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah, he didn't cross the line in second.
Yeah,
for sure.
he didn't cross the line in second. Can we see it again one more time? You got that quick button to go to a replay. So, watch,
He sure
watch
does.
this. It's stay at the flag stand shot. So they're at the line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he might have got a top 10, 9th or 10th, maybe.
Yeah, that's close. That's terrible, man. That's points. Missed out on points. Gary Nichols sends them for a loopsie daisies. And on pit road here for one of potential 2 stops of the evening.
It stops coming up.
Yep, virtual tanks being filled up. Chains of virtual Goodyears and send them on out for stage number 2 coming up.
And we will take a break because we haven't took one yet. Stay with us. We're back and we'll try to grab a word with the stage 1 winner.
You don't just watch this kind of racing, you feel it. You feel it in your chest when the green flag drops, in the dirt hanging in the air. And when you can't be there in person, when the night's long and the engines fire somewhere miles away, that's where we come in. From the front stretch to your front porch, from the stands to your living room, the best racing you'll ever see lives right here. This ain't just a stream, it's the edge of your seat.
And back here live, still under caution here to get stage number 2 underway. We got just over 1 lap left before we go back to green flag racing, and we have stage winner Ryan Bay, who also led the most laps, man. What a fast looking truck out there. You got some good partners, and when you lost the lead, you got it back quickly. So what are you doing? What's the magic to get around this track as your race leader?
Well, that's the plan, man. Gonna try to stay up front as much as I can. We lost a bit of track position here from going to the pits, so we'll see if we can get back up there as fast as we can, stay in front of all the trouble. That is the plan.
All right, very good, man. What do you think your chances are of being up here talking to us in the booth at the end of this thing?
I'm hoping pretty good. As long as I can keep myself up here and out of trouble. I think that's at least my secret, my strategy of super speedways. Hopefully I can get some of my teammates up here to help me out, but we'll see how it goes.
Right, 10-4, man. Just a quick reminder before I pull you down, what is your team channel so I know where to look?
Beaver State.
Beaver State. Thank you, sir. And good luck to you, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, guys.
That was Ryan Bay, driver number 29, leading the most laps in stage number 1. I think he led over 10 laps, if I'm not mistaken. Double file here. We're going to go back to green flag this time around, which should be 35 or 36 laps. Actually, it's going to be about 40 laps to go. My correction there. And just a reminder, the field mileage is about 30 to 32. So there's going to be a guaranteed 1 pit stop. Pending there's any wrecks, we might see a second from someone. Wesley's going to be back momentarily. He had a midnight knock at the door, so anything could happen at midnight. So let's see what kind of drunk person shows up at his door. Top 10 on this restart here. Stephen Paulison's going to lead the field with Dana Rogers, Frank Karras, Brian Barnes, Seth Cooper. Those guys are up 20 to 30 spots. They leapfrogged the field with that early pit just before stage end. And then the remaining is Ryan Bay, Josh Childress, Jeff Stabnow, Gary Nichols, and Tom Wygant is going to be your top 10.
Hey, Jeremy.
This time around, and he is back. What drunk person was at your door?
No drunk person, buddy. I've got a family emergency. My son is being sent to the hospital right now. Something has happened to him with the medication that he's been taking with his broken leg, and I need to go. So if Charles and you can cover it, or you cover it, I don't know, but I've got to get off here and head to the emergency room. So
yeah, good job, man.
I'll holler at y'all later, and God willing, I'll be with you all on Thursday. So y'all take care.
All right, man. Go for it. Sorry to hear that, and we'll talk to him on Thursday, make sure everything's okay. But back to green flag here. 3 wide already. I see a puff of smoke at the front. Someone let an engine go, and here we go. Big wreck happening here. 98 Seth Cooper gets turned around. Somebody blew an engine with a money shift, potentially choked up the field, and they all get sent around here for the 3rd caution here this evening. Not even a quarter of a lap in. Stage winner Ryan Bay obviously cleared right there. Brian Barnes in front. Only 3 trucks kind of make it out initially. It looks like the 07 Dana Rogers has the money shift issue. Checking up everybody. There's some of the big damage. Devin Matthews, Seth Cooper at the inside. We got a lot of front end damage here. Frank Harris makes a quick evasive maneuver, sends Josh Childress to the wall. Jeff Stabnow gets nose damage. Gary Nichols with some front end damage. Devin West gets piled in. 04 and the 6 kind of squeaked by. Well, he's got a little bit of damage here, Charles. I don't know if it's going to knock him out of the race per se, but we can always give him a little shout out, of course, here. And they're getting caught to the pace truck. There's only, look at this, 3 drivers in view of a quarter of a track. That really shows you the damage count from this big wreck here on the money shift. Let's go ahead and bring in Jeff Stabnow, at least talk to him for just a moment's worth of time. We're going to move him from here to the anti-Android arena. Jeff Stabnow, this is Jeremy in the booth. What happened in that wreck, man?
They wrecked in front of me. There was no real way through, so we're about to go in and try to fix some damage.
Yeah, look, I got a little bit there for sure. That truck was running fast, man. You're running up front a decent amount of the way. What were you doing in the wheel before that wreck to keep that truck up front?
Just trying to find the holes and stay in line and not run anybody over.
All right, well, hopefully the damage isn't too bad on that 24 there. It looked like a little bit for sure. I think you should be able to get that fully repaired based on my views.
Well, we're going to find out. Can't really tell. I just see a hill in the middle of my hood.
Well, Jeff, they can actually hear me now because Wesley had to leave. But we've commandeered you, and the rule is now if you If you can't make it back on the track, you have to come fill in for Wesley.
I will limp this thing around the track for the rest of the race.
Of course you would.
No, holler if you need me. Well, let's hope everything's okay with Wesley.
Yeah, we're hoping so too, man. We want to see him back Thursday, happy as ever. But all right, man. Good luck too. Hopefully the truck's fully repairable, and maybe we'll still have a chance to talk to you later this evening.
Yeah, we got about a minute of damage, so it should be all right.
Yeah, I think you're gonna be A-okay. You got way too much time to get that thing repaired, so you'll be doing just fine. That was Jeff Stepp, now driving the number 24 LSRTV truck, and lap and a half left before we go back to green flag racing. Just like that, one money shift from the driver up front, gonna take out 10 plus vehicles. Rack them and restack them. Now, Charles, this is kind of weird. We don't have an Android person in the room anymore, so.
Yeah, technically, I guess we should rename it from the anti-Android arena to like iPhone Superior Shout Out or something. I don't know.
You just name it the Genius Bar again. I'm good with that.
That is true. I love Apple, but I never figured out why they call it their Genius Bar. That's where you go when stuff's broke.
Because they got geniuses fixing them.
Well, maybe we need to take those geniuses and put them in the development area so they won't break. But, yeah, I've never really had them break. I will say this, I'm about to go green here shortly. I did have my MacBook break this week. However, it was, I don't want to say it was Apple's fault as much as it was, I put a beta version of the new Mac OS on it, and it had a memory leak, I guess, because it was using like 100 gigs of RAM. So, yeah, iPhone beta good. I think you're on it too. Mac OS 27, I don't know, a little sketchy. Don't put it on your main computer.
Just tell you to make sure it's not your primary device, but we risk it all on our primary iPhones, and that's okay. We're loving it, but they should also put a genius on the pricing. Apple increased their prices by a lot this week, so
yes, I think
not
they said
that, but
it was like 15 to 35% increase. I know our work is talking about getting like 5 or 6 Mac Minis when they come out, which rumor has it for all the Apple people out there, the M5 Mac Mini and M5 Mac Studio are rumored to come out this month.
with a massive price increase. Well,
Yes.
hopefully that's not too much, but
What
yeah,
I
it'd be
read,
cool to have one.
it's going from the $599 base model to $999 for the Mac Mini.
Okay.
Of course, it will
like
get
it.
a spec too.
Those new Neos they sound like a great option to get into a laptop.
I can't
not
confirm.
crazy
I bought one
price.
for my dad for Father's Day, and he watches Netflix, Paramount Plus, all those, and it's a flawless option.
Tony P341 on YouTube says Apple's listening. Be careful to what you say. Hey, we're talking positive about them. We just,
Yes.
as consumers, we don't like price increases. So I'm sure we're not the 100,000th person to mention it. So
And I
we'll
hope
be
they
okay
are,
in that.
'cause, they need to fix that leak in the memory. The beta. Granted, I believe a beta came out today for beta 3, so anyway, it's going great.
There we go. We're going green flag there. Tony also says, hope everything's good with his kid. He said a prayer for him, so I'm sure he'll appreciate that, and we'll pass the message along. Pace, vehicle down, throttles at the ready here for the 4th time. Brian Barnes, Ryan Bay, firing this thing off. We're green flag. The 4 gets a decent jump. Paulson's going to follow with him. Going to pass the 29 of Ryan Bay before the start-finish line on the inside. Perfectly allowed from the 2nd row to the 1st row. Anything else beyond that on the inside is not allowed typically, but no harm, no foul there. Kind of scatters the field. Dennis Moore about 10th place, shifts to the bottom. The truck behind him shifts right up to the top. Is already flip-flopping positions. Multiple rows deep, and we're already going 3 wide here. At least we're trying. We got a couple takers. One almost wrecks in the back, slides from the top to the bottom, almost crossed the double yellow line. 3 wide for about 10th place. Bryce Dickman in the middle. Taylor Alto on the bottom. And I can't make up the truck at the moment there on the outside. Goes solo back to 2 wide. 2 wide formation here. Brian Barnes on the bottom. Not your race leader. On the second lane is your race leader. And lo and behold, it's the 29 of Ryan Bay. Turn number 1 here, Ryan Bays now going to lead with Brian Barnes all by his lonesome. Stephen Paulson there, P3, single filed out. Oh, we got a truck upside down. Is that the 5 of Devin West? No, that's not the 5. That is the 010 Travis Barnes on his driver door, sliding all the way. Comes to a rest, cannot flip it over. That's going to be a required 2.5-minute tow, plus damage repair for Travis, so multiple laps down. He will go here as we got our 4th caution of the evening. We're going to take it back to our replay here. And there was a lot of movement there entering turn number 1. And it looks like just a bad bump there from Bryce Dickman, or there was just a lot of checkups happening from all the movement. As we head up to the VHS rewind here, just look at him just shoving the back of Gary Nichols. Nothing he could do there. He was full on the throttle. Bryce Dickman gets to him, and once the 34 Devin Matthews bumps him, it shifts the 010 out of lane. He has to move back up. The gap is closed because of the Ford truck draft, and that is just a clean racing deal there, at least from my perspective. The admin should follow suit on that. Just 4 trucks trying to get things going there on the top lane. No give, all take. And it's going to go back to the guy on your screen, Ryan Bay, to the point. Trying to lead the most laps here before even the halfway mark of this event. I don't foresee pit stops. I don't think they're in that window just yet. They're flirting with it. I'm sure they're tempted. If they pit and maybe catch another caution or 2, then they might be okay. We'll see here. Pit road is open this time. Will Ryan Bay, Brian Barnes, Stephen Paulson, they all come in, or maybe the guys in the back maybe try to do the leapfrog by pitting now. There they go. No one entering pit road, at least from the top 5 or 10. So the window is not there. There goes Taylor Alto. 88, lonesome pitter inside the top 10. Tim Garski comes in there from about 13th place. And there comes the back half of the field as they all pile in. 10, 12 trucks. Plus Taylor Alto giving up a top 10 position. So there you go, your top 17 not on pit road, everybody else in. This 4th caution here. Just see a lot of splash and goes, maybe a 2-tire stop at best. 21 Tyler King, your points leader. Splash and go for him. Jeff Stabno looks like he got his truck fully repaired. He's back up and ready to go to pick up those positions lost from the wreck from about 10 laps prior. Field getting settled back in here. We should have another pace lap or 2 left before we go back to green flag racing. I think we're what we're going to do here. Charles, we're going to kick it to another commercial break here. Hopefully we get some green flag racing shortly after that, and we'll try to run it to the finish from there. We'll be right back.
Forget the crowded parks and backyards.
Trying to find speed? The team at Dirt Tire Warehouse and Piranha Race Tire Service show exactly that. Don't believe us? Check out the race winner stickers on the Fast Guys cars. We groove, sight, match, size, and mount your dirt racing tires so you're race ready every time. Dirt Tire Warehouse and Piranha Race Tire Service. Take a bite out of the track and competition.
Elevate your next event with our next level screens. Bring them closer to the action. Stunning LED displays for sporting events, concerts and festivals, corporate conferences, trade shows, or seminars. Captivate your audience. We deliver, set up, and let your crowd see every moment. Provide real-time content updates. Advertise to large audiences. And with our content services on site, reach maximum exposure. This is Done Right TV, LED screen rentals and sales. Call or visit us online. Bookings are going fast.
I mean, my big boy size here. Oh, this thing right here is pretty sporty. I'm gonna try it out. Man, this thing's love right here, boy. We'll be here for a minute.
Welcome to Racing 101. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to drive a super late model.
Appreciate you coming by, Bags.
Well, I enjoyed it.
All right, have a good day.
Same-day shipping?
You got to go.
Will you help me get this thing to the house?
Same-day shipping.
Ultra Shield seats. So comfy, you don't want to get out of them. Available at Day Motorsports.
I think I'm put this thing in the living room.
About a half lap left, a little bit less than that before we go back to green flag racing here. Your top 5 is Ryan Bay, Brian Barnes, Trevor Fetchner, Stephen Paulison, Bryce Dickman. As you're currently top 5, 29 Ryan Bay is just cooling off the tires, if you will. Not necessary at a 2.66 mile super speedway venue, but he wants to be the oddball on the group and run down there where the track's still dirty. Getting a little dust on them tires, if you will. Country song style, and there we go, pace car down. Thought I was going to be at the ready into the restart zone here. And let's see if we can get a green flag run here that's more than 5 laps. In the zone, and there it is. Green flag for the 5th time is back in the air on lap 33 of 66. Next lap completes the first half of the race, rather. 29 gets a great launch, goes right to the top with Brian Barnes there, and then goes right back to the bottom, already trying to control traffic, and they're not even up to full speed. The 58 did not get a good jump. We're already 3 wide at the top here. Looks like 3 trucks trying to make some quick leapfrog moves. Now they're off into turn number 2.
I'm kind of curious too. Are they even going to need to pit, really? I mean, we know tires aren't that big of a factor. We'll see something literally come in for a splash of fuel and that's it. Not even, just enough to pop down.
With the people that just came down to pit road, they had about 34 laps to the end. We heard from Bryce Dickman that the maximum that he could probably do is 32. That's a 2-lap variance that puts him outside the window. However, those guys that came down pit road can catch 2 or 3 cautions, then they're good for just the race. But what if there's an overtime? Then you have to account for that. So I like the call to try to risk it if you're not being up front. But honestly, I don't think that they're going to. I think every single person's going to eventually have to come down pit road one way or another. And we got the top 3 single file there on the bottom once more. Brian Barnes leads Ryan Bay, Stephen Collison. The top 3, top 4 with Gary Nichols there, all single file driving the double yellow line at the bottom. Now Dennis Moore also does that. 5 trucks single file on the bottom. They're 3 wide for about 10th to 15th, 3 rows deep as they cross the line there. Lap 35 of the scheduled 66 currently
we put it into our calculator. We heard about 31, 32. Put it into the system. We'll see. So we have not all that. We're talking about it's yellow. He's getting dangerously close to red for Paulson. So you're right. Some of these guys he should have. Yeah, he's got a little bit more fuel. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to have trying to dive off to pit lane well before behind him. It could lead to a little bit of chaos.
It looks pretty chaotic back there for about 15th or such. Crossing the line here, 36. Not 36, currently underway. We got a 2-truck breakaway after this 3-wide chaos back here. I would say, what are we looking at? About 20th place on back is a second and a half away. They're kind of just riding. The newly cautions have been a little more frequent than what they like, so this is the classic, I'm just going to lag in the back type of line here, single file it all the way through, playing it the safe way. They're keeping themselves within draft range, just barely, but they are. And they're also, they have that whole second plus of checkup room. If they see a wreck happen, they can just move left, move right. There's not going to be too much work to do to avoid the wreck compared to the guys that are currently leading up in the top half of the field. Yeah, and they got the full tank, so if they can kind of keep the throttle work down. You know, we don't have a throttle measurement here on the screen, but if we did, I bet you they're not 100% throttle. They're just kind of riding there. Maybe Mr. Paul Newton can shift his way to the back to give himself a little bit of a break on the fuel mileage. As Dennis Moore leads the race for the first time here this evening. 44 to the point, took this lead basically at the line last time around. Off of turn number 4, it's 44 and 4. Together, we're going to get 29 laps remaining. We've got Ryan Bay laps remaining here. He's third place in line. The 12 of Fetchner are going to try to make his way up to the top 3 for the first time. Not having the help he needs from behind. There are 4 or 5 trucks that are willing to help. But this inside, Charles, is just so strong right now.
Earlier, we saw 24 wide all over the place. Now that kind of inside bomb. Will it stand that way? I don't know. We've already established, we know people like Paulson. These guys are probably trying to get down to the inside. So that fuel tank is on fumes and it's running on empty. So he needs to stay down there. If he can shove that to the second, third row, he may not do it.
Let's see here. There is chaos. There are 3 wide, 5 rows deep. 1 truck in the middle and the back went hard left to right. Didn't make out who that was at the moment. He somehow squeezes to the very top of the track to go 2 wide. Back there, that was... Still can't figure out that car number. It's so blended in with the paint scheme, but off of turn number 2 here, we're still a couple rows 3 wide deep. We got 4 trucks on the top in that third lane, trying to roll with some type of momentum. They're gonna need more numbers up there to make this move happen. Bryce Dickman leads the way in that third group, who's about 7th or 8th place in total. William Fetchner currently leading the second lane as they shift away from his truck there off of turn number 4. Going to try to put him in the sucker hole. It looks like they're going to succeed. Seth Cooper from the last big wreck. He's going to try to drop down now and grab the 12. He does so. It's now 3 trucks in the middle groove there. Taylor Alto sneaks in front of the 12 there to take the second lane lead. 4th place goes the 88. Get a great shot there. Seth Cooper all over the back bumper. William Fetchner, who's still trying to get to Taylor Alto's bumper. Seth Cooper leaves the 12 of Fetchner. He's going to bring Jason Leake with him on the outside.
Yeah, and not to just change while we're watching the 12, every time I see that truck, maybe it's just my brain, but when I see that 12, it reminds me of that old bubble gum here. His old gun, and they gave it like 10 different colors, and the package was super bright.
I actually don't know this one.
It was, I don't know, I do not know the name of it, but I know the little mascot was a zebra.
Well, Bubblicious, is it not?
No, it was something different.
I'm
I'm sure
at
somebody
this.
in the chat would know. But yeah, it was.
Oh, hold on, Devin West, blow over, saves it, overcorrects. And there it is, caution for the 5th time this evening, gonna fly here as he barely bumps to the inside wall. Directly to his door panel. Should have little effect there. John Ottenbacher spins around. So does the 0-4. As Tim Gursky goes around, we're going to see what happened to Devin West, truck number 5. Caught the very beginning of the wreck there. I want to see what kind of led up to that moment in time as we hit the VHS rewind button once more. How did this all start here? Was it a bump or a block? It was a block for sure. And it looked like the 5 maybe got a little loose as the air was packed on his rear spoiler from Taylor. But then I think also Taylor finished him off and had a slight bump to him after he got a little loose. That was a very bold call there, Charles, to go from the very bottom to the top where the numbers were weaker to put out a block about mid-pack.
It definitely was. And that one with Tim Darcy, the truck in front of him dives off. I don't know if he rubbed his bumper or if it just like got loose as soon as that truck in front was gone. He just dove into the wall. John Ottenbacher also getting involved right there. He gets clipped. Gotta love super speedway. You never know what's gonna happen. As far as wrecks go, that's not too bad though.
Yeah, as far as Tim Gursky goes, I thought maybe he had too much rear brake bias for some reason. He just got on the binder, spun it around, and not too sure here. Here's another look at it. Yeah, he just got loose. And I think for whatever reason, people or drivers like running rear brake bias no matter what track they go to. It helps the truck rotate on their braking, sure. But we're at a super speedway. The only time you need the brake is to get down to pit road or hit it for a checkup, which you don't want rear brake bias for that. That's all it looked like to me. Maybe the apron's pretty dusty. Maybe you just caught too much dust on the tires and sent it for a loopsie daisies, but you know they can make the fuel mileage because every single driver is on pit road. Literally every single driver right now.
Yeah, and I didn't see any dust on the track, but it could be. And, you know, we love you, iRacing, but, you know, they have been known to have tracks covered in dirt before. So, while this was many years ago at this point, I think anybody who's been on here long enough would recall the time when all of the asphalt tracks seemed to look like dirt tracks when you were going around them.
10-4 on that. And just to give you a quick update on your gum there, I think it's double bubble is what I've got here.
See,
I don't know if that's because they have 10 different colors for flavors.
I'm gonna have to look it up here too myself.
But these are the balls though; these aren't sticks or anything. So
we're gonna find this gum.
Yeah, one way. We got some time underneath this caution brake here. These are long laps, and I'd love to keep shouting out the sponsors, but I know here at LSRTV we don't run.
Fruit Stripe.
Fruit Stripe.
Yeah, and they had 5 flavors.
Fruit
Yeah,
Stripe.
there was so it was this one by my childhood. I'm aging myself. Yeah, when you got it, you got little tattoos in the package too.
It says Yipes in Action Tattoos. Yep, there you go. Wet 'em and wear 'em is what the slogan was.
Yep. So,
I actually forgot that brand entirely until I seen this zebra.
yeah, it's like you don't see it anymore. I don't think. I don't know if they exist anymore, but you know, you got gum and 5 flavors, and you got a tattoo in the package. It was like a win for a kid.
Kids love them little fake tattoos, so 1000%. Get a colorful one on there with one of the zebras, rocking and rolling.
That was probably my childhood. Fake tattoos, and then back, you know, when they could advertise cigarettes, you go to the store and they were like pure sugar sticks, and they were supposed to resemble and look like cigarettes. I'm pretty sure they don't make those anymore either.
You might catch it in some random candy shop that has exclusives from wherever. But yeah, you're not seeing it anywhere on the mainstream side of things for sure. So don't want to promote lung cancer to a 5-year-old, even though those sticks are cool. I didn't think they tasted good though, right? I don't know about you. I was not a fan of the flavor.
No, it was like they were pure sugar, almost like whatever that candy is, dipsticks or whatever. You dip it in the candy, except way worse. Like it was like a first iteration of those, and they were not good. So if they're not around, it could be because of the whole cigarette and not promoting it, or it could be because they were just not very good and no one liked them. But you never will know with that one, probably.
Yeah, not too sure for sure, but back to green flag and next time around, under 30 laps to go in this race. Your top 5 on this restart for the 6th green flag attempt of the night will be Ryan Bay, Taylor Alto, Dennis Moore, Dylan Matthews, and Brian Barnes. And just a little quick update on the Wesley Outland child situation. Doesn't sound like it's as major after getting a couple of phone calls. He was already in a cast from a prior injury and we had a little slippage. So just out of precaution, we're going to the ER. I think we're going to be just fine. But parents got to do what parents got to do. Take care of your kids. Doesn't matter what time of the day. So hopefully it's not too long of an ER visit. But pace vehicle back down. Gonna wait for the green flag here as they have to crawl through the tri-level to get there. Long way there. So what kind of restart they have this time? Will it be another decently green flagged run, or will it be cautions from this point forward? 22 laps remaining. This race is back underway, and the 44 going to keep up with Brian Bay. 2 trucks going to be single filed into turn number 1. Taylor Alto is going to get some help. Brian Barnes are going to try to get the momentum off of turn number 2. Is welcome to 6, Dylan Matthews, P3 in that white, blue, and yellow truck. He's going to be up here duking it out for the race lead, maybe.
It'll be interesting to see, who finishes in the top 3. You could contest this as much as I did. It doesn't matter who's there now. Anything could happen. Overtime. I don't know. Would you say we had a big one? We had a decently moderate accurately, but I would say with many cars we had.
Yeah, it hasn't been the huge one like we're expecting, right? But at the same token, that money shift wreck there on the start of stage 2, that just it threw a lot of people back quite a bit. I remember when they cycled back to the pace car, only 3 trucks were in line for a half a track view, it felt like. So, and there was about 10 plus on pit road from that wreck. But as you see here, we basically got the whole field in view. Right now, at least from my screen, we have 30 trucks in this pack, really 29. And they're all 2 by 2 by 2 here, coming up 20 laps to go. We're playing a little safe here, it looks like right now, Charles, before the end.
Yeah, this is what we need to do. They need to play it safe. I would rather do that. I want them to play it safe, but I don't want them to go single file, because that's just stay 2 by 2, get a little lead changes here and there, play it safe, and I would say 10 laps ago, what's your go time here at Super Speedway? I'm going to say 5.
Yeah, if you're in the top 10, oh, hold on, we got a wreck here up in the front here. Jake Pinagoro gets turned, more clipping happening. Here's your bigger ones of race. 5 to 10 trucks easily involved on this one. Jake gets hooked. I don't know if that was his fault or if someone tagged him in the right rear, but it sends him to the outside wall in reverse. Looks like John Ottenbacher checks out. We're going to see the 6, Dylan Matthews, the 10 of Jake Pinagoro. The tail end of the start of this wreck. A little VHS rewind action here. We're going to see where this all originally took place. What was the setup looking like? We're 3 wide. Turn 2 into 6. Dylan Matthews just got a little aggressive there with the side drive. Tags the back rear side panel of the 10 of Jake Penagoro. Kicks him around to the outside, and everybody's scrambling.
What I want to take a look at here is watch the 10 back bumper. It actually goes further than the truck does. Here's his bumper. It gets tagged by the 99. It just keeps on going like it's racing while the car's stuck. So, where is he scored at? Where the bumper is or where the truck is?
So I do believe it's inlaid just behind the rear bumper, sorry, just behind the front bumper. So I would imagine somewhere where the radiator is, that's where your scoring system is mounted in these NASCAR vehicles. There's another view of the wreck here. There's the 77 of Harris, gets tagged, gets spun. There's Brian Barnes. A couple of our heaviest hitters of the evening involved on this one.
And I have to ask, did they update the smoke in the last update? It seems like the smoke lingered for a long time.
I don't think it was mentioned. And it depends on, because they have like several layers of that smoke system. They got the heavy plumes ones from the burnouts. And then, yeah, you get those little lingering static ones that kind of just gracefully float up and they start to disappear subtly. And those ones can take about 30 seconds. I don't think it was an update, but it's a newer as they've been working on the weather system here for the past few years.
Well, here's the question, and iRacing up there listening for this one. You know, I've seen it in real life, you know, where they paint the grounds and stuff. Are we ever going to get to where, like, where, you know, they paint the logos and stuff on at the tracks? When you do a burnout on those spots to where it gives a little tint of blue or red, whatever color it is that they've painted with on into the smoke.
You know, it'd be interesting, right? You get those the burnout competition guys where they just stick a colored brick basically on the back of the wheel and they do a burnout with that. I guess you could do that with the paint on the surface of the track.
I think we should. We should be like, I don't know if it's realistic, but I think it'd be fun. Have blue smoke, red smoke.
Yeah, we'll stick the neon lights underneath the vehicles like they did for the All-Star race at Bristol about 4-ish years ago. Make them all look pretty modified.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sealed paint on the ground doesn't have much grip in comparison to asphalt and concrete. So, I would imagine that surface is going to be even more slick if it's going to kick up color, right?
Yeah, it may not. It's not very physical. I don't think it ever worked, but you know, it would be nice to see a burnout where they had different colors. I don't know why. It's just something I was always wanted to see. You know, if we could see colors when they did burnouts, but practicality of it, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, people get creative over time. Maybe something where like you get the victory, or you get the checker flags, right? You come around and you slap something on, and then you can do your burnout after you attach a piece to your vehicle. Give you some colored effects there, but about to go back to green flag here, 1 lap away. 8 drivers are on pit road, by the way, with extensive repairs. 3 of which are still out there, or in there rather, for pit road. It's Dylan Matthews, Kyle Matthews, and Travis Barnes. As Travis has been there for quite some time, I think, since his side flip there up turn 2 about 15 laps ago. There is your pace car, no lights left. We're going back to green flag this time around. Getting close to that 10 laps to go mark. We'll get the exact lap count when we go back to green flag here. Your top 5 this time around is going to be Seth Cooper, Ryan Bay, Dennis Moore, Taylor Alto, and Tom Wygens. That's your top 5.
I am curious who's gonna You know, we're seeing some of the same drivers here at the Super Speedway. I figured we'd see, you know, some person that hasn't been up here all season, you know, just because of what type of track it is. But, you know, we're really seeing some of the same drivers. You've got Cooper, Moore, Alto up here. Could we see Tom get a win here? Gary Nichols. You know, I hate to say it, but sometimes I like to root for the underdog and see someone who, you know, could win, but, you know, hasn't been winning. To see him get a win here at this track.
Yeah, 100% there, and getting close, man. We're getting close to the end of this thing. We're going to see a lot more chaos. We might see a few more cautions. We might see some overtime as these guys get 2 overtime attempts at this thing. You see on lap 50 of the 66, current leader Seth Cooper. 6 cautions for, I think, 18 laps will be the official number as they cross the line, so it's 3 laps per. That's only 7 lead changes at a super speedway. That's kind of impressive, but when you're driving the way that Ryan Bay is driving, it's making it hard for people to lead this race other than himself. And here we go. Restart zone and green flag back out here for the 7th time this evening. Cooper whole launch shot there with Dennis Moore right behind him. 3 trucks versus 2 trucks until the rest of them catch the 5-truck breakaway.
Yeah, and we were sitting there, I was looking, that wasn't the greatest start. They're all scattered out right now. To talk about it. When you're at a normal track, you know, a mile and a half, short quick jump and get out in front. You don't necessarily want to do that here because that really just leaves you wide open to be a city.
And that's the risk you take, man. You're trained, these drivers are wired to, I need the best restart possible. I need to get it. But then you do it and you're like, oh, well, I'm going to just blow off my nose here on the back straightaway because they're going to have the draft and I won't. You see a lot of scattering right here. Dennis more to the point here as the race lead change happens. Ryan Bay all over the back bumper. He does follow with 3 wide momentarily, almost in the top 3. They stick the 2 wide. Tyler King drops in behind the 29 of Ryan Bay to take the 3rd place on the inside lane. Seth Cooper and truck 98 gonna do a crazy amount of side draft to maintain his position. Lane number 2, Paul Newton. Same way, 3 wide, at least for Jason Leake as he gets cycled back.
Noticed he is plus 9. He had at least a minute of repairs. Looking at a top 10, possibly better, possibly worse. We don't really know at this point. But to in the top 10 after being on pit road for over a minute, not a bad job. I just wasn't sure what happened at a super speedway track.
Yeah, for sure. There right now it's a little calm there, a little left and right. I see in the pack with 14 laps to go. There goes Taylor Alto. He's going to get shifted out. Jeff Stabnow going to pass him to the inside. 3 wide momentarily for that position on the track inside the top 10. As Taylor Alto is going to go to the back in a hurry without any draft until the 46 of Breisman is going to get there.
Well, here's your question as we're watching this battle. We always talk about the second being in the middle lane and everybody freight training you basically. But in that end, I mean, talk about, can the sucker hold any lane just depending on where the other 2 lanes are powerful? Like that time, he got freight trained on the outside. We always think of the sucker really in the middle.
So how to define that one is when you're in the middle of a 3 wide, you have 2 moving vehicles, 1 on each side of you, causing wind turbulence. It's taking air off the spoilers. So what it's doing is it's kind of filling that air pocket that would be there for the guy in the middle with a lot of dirty, turbulent air, and it slows the truck down. And it slows it down even more. But if you're on the top half, you only have that effect on one side of the truck. However, if you get someone that runs right to the left rear corner panel, it takes the air off the truck, and then it will slow them down. But overall, on a perfect situation, The inside is still the worst to be at. And so that's basically it. It just comes down to that, really. And you get a little effect from the outside wall if you run right up against it. And outside of that, no, you get more effect if you run up the middle. Oh no. There you go, 6th caution or 7th caution this evening.
Do I blame myself for that one?
No, Jeff's just had the worst luck. He's having a Connor Zillich 2026 so far. Just no good across the board. This was not his doing. Wrong place, wrong time. Kevin Smith not having some good luck here this past month on average. He's going to get involved in this one. And man, the 55, the 39, those two.
I'm not even sure how Dan West got involved in all that. It's a totally different incident.
Yeah, maybe we can find them and rewind it and maybe see what happened to the 55. There you go. Gonna review these 3 trucks anyway, see what happens with how they split out. Wrecks happening. Oh, there it is. He's got rear-ended by Frank Harris, 77, just pile drives him without the checkup. A little arc braking, if you will, but he was also right behind him with those spoilers, Charles. It's hard to see what's going on in front of you directly, so he didn't have a good view of it, so he just got on the binders a little too late.
Not an ideal situation. Well, they're still checking up, almost running over each other under caution. Not sure what that was about, but yeah, who parks their RVs right there? We can't see it. Someone tell them to move.
So we're going to be seeing a bunch of drivers here run the bottom here. Not sure if this is just more fun. Don't expect any pit stops to be happening. I know Jeff Stabnow is coming down pit road, a couple other drivers. See a little nose damage on Tim's truck. The 55 had some rear end damage. So it looks like when they head down pit road here.
I am curious. We'll take a look at Dennis. I want to see his fuel. I'm curious what he's got in the tank. Of course, we're gonna have to show that.
That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, he's pretty good on fuel. Looks like everyone is good. I'm pretty sure they were, but we knew they came down. Everyone flat 42, 48. So yeah, fuel will not be a factor for this race.
All said and done, at least for sure from Dennis Moore's fuel tank. As we have just under 2 laps to go before we go back to green flag. Let's pull up that race summary one more time. Last restart we had 7 different changes. Now we have 8. So there's only that 1 spot change from Ryan Bay to Dennis Moore. And we're going to have over 20 laps of caution out of our 66 lap event here. So we're about 25-ish%, close to 30% of the race with the flappy yellow fabric. And the rest of the race has been green flag. You see the big chunks happening in the beginning. Had 1 little spot directly in the middle of the race. And it's back to just painting stripes.
Yeah.
Fruit stripe style.
Yeah, fruit stripe style. And, technically, I guess we could say there was 6 cautions because one of them was the stage. So if you take that out, looking at that chart, after the first caution, we had a decent green flag run. I will say this, the last race was pretty good. I don't think we had many cautions, but maybe they're getting a little chewing in the holler there because they seem to somewhat be fixing it up. I don't know. Can we really judge, how many cautions there are and if they're cleaning up their acts on the cautions at a super speedway? Because it really is a crapshoot. You don't know what's going to happen.
Telling someone to not go fast with 10 laps to go, not going to happen. Sorry. We're going to get crazy. Spots are to be filled. You want to talk to us at the end, that means you got a top 3. So, You got points up for grabs. Tyler King somehow, after being involved in that first wreck, 3rd place at 21, has a chance to get this wild card off and out of the way with a decent finish. That would drastically help him for the spring season. We do have the 1 lap to go signal. Your top 5 on this restart be Dennis Moore, Brian Bay, Tyler King, Tom Wygant, and Seth Cooper. Top 5 for there.
Yeah, and they also, trying to get all the racing in they can. We have this week, or tonight, or this week. Yeah, I was right the first time. This week, and 2 more weeks, and then we're off for about a month or so before we come back for the main season. And then the fun goes away. It is serious racing at that point. So they know these are the last couple of nights of fun racing, although some of these guys, I don't know if they classify it as much fun as they want it to be, but that signifies we come back and, time to strap in for the long haul, the big season that'll take us all the way through the winter.
And that'll be an exciting season to see with trucks and ARCA. They kind of mimic right now the spring season. They mimic. I love the split schedule. It's the same tracks every single week. So it's not what's this, who's that. So great job on the spring season overall for the Northwest. And we got to go back to green flag this time around. We talked about the whole shot. You typically don't want that, but you also want to maintain your partners behind you if you can. There we go, pace vehicle down. Throttle's going to be at the ready here for the 8th time. Going to be in that restart zone here. 3, 2, 1. There now, and green flag. Green flag back in the air. 8 laps remaining. Charles, did we get 1 or 2 more cautions before this thing is done?
Yeah, I'm going to say we go caution free the rest of the way. I probably jinxed it, but I'm going to say it. Yeah, we'll probably get a caution like in a half a lap from now, but I'm calling it. I think they'll go caution free the rest of this race.
Little strategy there. We'll see what happens. See if we can make it. That'd be kind of cool. 2 by 2 goes to the field. Ryan Bay's going to cut in front of Dennis Moore. Going to take that inside position. As Tom Wygant, driver the 69, going to be position P2 momentarily. Almost has the nose advantage over Ryan Bay. Almost a door contact as well. Gary Nichols giving him a hell of a push here. Not able to clear.
I'm just saying, did I not say it would be really cool if we could see someone like Tom Wygant win this race? He's up in the lead now, or he was. He's still, I would say he's leading. He's not leading, he's leading. Either way, he's up to front. Back and forth. Oh, and, well, there goes my pick. I'm just going to be quiet now, Jeremy. I say no caution, and I pick the winner. He gets wrecked, and a caution.
Oh, man, big wreck here. He just got himself into the top 5, the 69 did, and now he's got damage all over his truck here. We're going to have to take a couple more looks at the replay and see what happened. Here, it looks like Dennis Moore, maybe we can kick it back there. Dennis Moore was out of shape beforehand off the double yellow line. Okay, so that's a bad bump there from the 44 to the 29. Then Gary Nichols shoves everybody down low, and it makes Dennis Moore drive up the track. And then everyone just kind of kamikazes in there.
Yeah, honestly, I think it comes down to what you were talking about. We're less than 10 to go, and they're jockeying for every single position they can get. And, it turns into a little bumping, a little rubbing, which is racing, according to Harry Hogg on Talladega Nights, Days of Thunder. Rubbin's racing, and unfortunately, Rubbin turned into wrecking, and that's not racing, that's wrecking. So, it's one of those deals, they bumped a little, and it got a little too aggressive.
There we go, 100%. And we're going to see more of it, man. We're going to have a 5-lap shootout, roughly, I think. When we go back to green flag, this kind of shakes up the top 10, though. The wreck happening in the front half of the field. Currently on pit road is Dennis Moore, Dylan Matthews, Kyle Matthews, Travis Barnes. Travis has been on pit road forever from that wreck. He's counted at 43 plus minutes, so he's out of this event. So from the latest round, it's 2 Matthews and Dennis Moore.
Yeah,
Dennis has the second most laps led here this evening under Ryan Bay.
We're getting reports in from Dylan Matthews telling us to give Devin Matthews some love. We'll give him some. You know, we always give him a little crap down in the chat that, you know, he's usually wrecking. He's not. He is still in this race. He's currently in 21st. But I will say this, and I think you might agree here. Just because you're in 21st right now with, you know, about 8-7 laps to go doesn't mean anything. You could be in the top 5 in, you know, 2 laps. The way people can get shuffled in and out.
I think it was in 2024. I called a Talladega race. The person who won that race on the last lap, at 1 to go, they crossed the line at 22nd place. 22nd to first in 1 lap. The wreck happened. He was about 1.5 seconds back, maybe 2 seconds even. And he just drove through this massive cloud of smoke like no other on the back straightaway and passed them all just like that. So that was super cool to see. So yeah, no, everyone in this race that has a decent vehicle left underneath them has a chance to win this thing. We've seen wrecks happen in the front tonight, in the middle. In the back's been a lot of 3 wide, very chaotic. I don't know how they haven't wrecked in the back yet, but they still have a chance. And yeah, it's just that aggressiveness. You're trying to get all the side drafts you can. You make those maneuvers to try to pass somebody. You get the momentum, you go for the side draft, and then boom. We've seen multiple times that's caused contacts, and it's caused 2 big ones here this evening.
It definitely has, Alex. It's crapshoot. We don't know what we're going to get. And, let's see, we'll pull this up real quick. 62 of 66, so not in overtime yet. We do have 2 attempts at overtime if needed. Personally, I hope we don't need it because I'd like to finish under regulation, but, you know, not knocking the Northwest because this is definitely not the normal that we saw last year. But we've seen more often than not we've had to go into overtime here in the spring series. So not the norm, but it's just a matter of if we will see it here tonight. I'm hoping we don't.
Yep. Let's stay green flag the rest of the way. That'd be beautiful here. Pace car lights are off. 1 lap to go before we head to the green flag for the 9th time this evening. I'm going to recap the top 5 like I have been all night long. It's going to be Ryan Bay, Tyler King, Seth Cooper, Calvin Georgi, and Paul Newton. Here's your top 5 here. Appreciate y'all joining in. I see 23 viewers. We've had a concurrent of over 20 viewers here so far tonight. And appreciate y'all for popping in and chatting a little bit, because some of the chat sessions have been kind of quiet as of recent. And not tonight, though. It's Talladega. It's a whole different vibe out here, so thank you for that. And let's see, Ace iRacing saying that would be cool to see John or Tyler win. Also, Tyler is my bet now to win. Ace iRacing picking the points leader, Tyler King, to get it done. I just don't know how you're going to stop Ryan Bay. There's been some moments where he's been passed, but at the end of the day, he's controlled the draft excellently. He's had the right help. He's made the moves, kept his nose clean.
If we're picking winners, I picked mine and he just got wrecked out half a lap later, but I'm going to go with the 98. I'm going to go with Seth Cooper. He's up 28 spots right now. So, you know, I think he might have something. I don't know if I'm going to say it's speed, because that's not much of a thing when you're having the draft, but I think he's put himself in a good spot.
Yeah, I think so too. And you're allowed to pick throughout. As long as they keep wrecking, you can keep picking, man. Seth has already got one wreck underneath his belt. Maybe he can stay clear the rest of the way. Pace vehicle down, throttles at the ready once more. And here we go to the end, potentially. And this could be the final restart of the night. Green flag, 3-lap shootout here. That's going to be 7.5 miles remaining left in this event for the third to final race of the 2026 spring season. For the trucks, Ryan Bay is going to have Tyler King's draft to help Pierce. Seth Cooper going to lose it, going to try to cut. No, Paul Newton's got a strong run here. He's going to close in the back of the 21, Tyler King. Backstretch 2-3 wide already in the back.
Yeah, and I was wondering, I thought maybe I jinxed him already. That sound really needs to get together, but if we, yep, there you go. That's what I was afraid was going to happen. They came down, but it's not going to matter because caution down.
Caution flag. First round of overtime. John Ottenbacher in his umpteenth wreck here this evening. And, well, Charles, what are we doing over here, man? Your picks.
Everything.
Your picks are just being picks. Oh, man, look at this. Just massive pile. We got to back this one. Oh, man,
yeah,
the
we
37.
gotta work on our replay. we changed it for the other tracks, and here it's needs a little bit more, but
that was kind of wild. The 37 just crossing over the track there. That's Ryan McLeod. Just maybe we can reverse it again. I don't know. Ryan McLeod went north to south into turn 3, top to bottom. And it didn't look like he had any room whatsoever to make that maneuver. Let's see if we can get a view of the 37. Well, it might have been a bump from Josh Childress, really. Hard to tell from that angle, but it was such an abrupt maneuver as before he goes all 4 wheels off the ground. Tom Wygen's going to be involved on this one. Of course, Seth Cooper, John Ottenbacher. Is there contact? Oh, just right after, but that's okay. There's the airlift. Kevin Smith going to be involved. Troy Daggett barely just goes to the left-hand side and clears Kevin Smith. Jeff Stabnow. Late in the going on this one.
there was definitely contact with children. Oh, right there.
There it is. Slams it hard to the wall, man. That's going to end the night of Seth Cooper. Ryan McLeod, Jeff Stabnow. I think Tom Wyatt might be okay. Continue to pile up there. Late in the wreck.
I've been in the booth for like 30 laps in the last 5-6 years of doing this now, and I've managed to jinx 2 drivers in one race. And you wonder why they pulled me out of the booth.
This is what happens when you store all that negative energy for how many races, you turn on your microphone and you let it loose. And this is what we're seeing. Every pick has just been obliterated from the race. So dare do you pick the 29 or 21 to complete this thing?
You know, I'm going to pick the other guy, the chat. I'm going to go with the 21. I think he's got the win here tonight.
All right.
If he wrecks, I'm retiring, so let's call it quits.
He's like, I'm just going to sell my microphone. I'm going to text these guys what I'm doing tonight. Because obviously it's a big jinx box.
We'll go ahead and throw this back up there. Yep, officially in overtime, as you mentioned a second ago. So we're in 1 of 2 here tonight. So yeah, I think I had this at 80 laps. I don't think we're going to get there, but they told me it was 66. Well, now it's 69, maybe 70 at least. So it's kind of got to wait and see.
Yeah, we should be getting the one to go this time. That'll put us green flag lap 68. And so it'll be 70 laps if we get to the end this time around. And so it looks like Ace iRacing saying, let's go Tyler. Still cheering on the 21 Tyler King, which is your points leader. And the person in second in points, well, is one-upping the 21. Second place in points, Ryan Bay, 54 out coming into this race. Travis Barnes, who was in third, 60 points out. He has DNF'd this race and will result in a 31st place finish, which will not only knock him out of the top, or the contention of anything, it'll put Bryceman way ahead of him. Seth Cooper, who's 109 points back, in fourth. That puts him in an upper spot there. It's going to reel in some of these drivers to maybe sneak in a third or fourth place in points, but one lap to go. There we go. So to recap, the 10th green flag attempt. Your top 5 is Ryan Bay, Tyler King, Josh Childress. Welcome back after getting wrecked a couple times. You got Ray Partridge in a 38.
We just lost to 21.
He's a Christmas tree right now.
Yeah, he's a blinking. And a quick
Christmas in
update.
July.
Looking at Devin Matthews, he has gained. He's up to 16th from the 21st, so he has gained a few spots. And we mentioned he could gain a few more, depending on how this race goes and if he can avoid anything. And hopefully the 21 does not blink out of this race, because that would be 3 for 3, and that would be requiring to sell all my stuff at that point. So.
Yeah, we're not going to have you do that, so we're okay.
I probably won't sell my stuff. I'll just come back under a false identity. Nobody knows who I am.
It's going to be like Outland Wesley. It's going to be Woot and Charles going to be joining us next week.
Whole new person. You don't know who I am.
I couldn't imagine another personality coming from you, but I guess we can learn in real time what that would look like.
I did take French in high school. I didn't learn anything, but I could try to relearn it again and come in and speak French. I don't know if anybody would understand me, but we could try.
Menage a trois.
I know how to say baguette.
There you go.
I don't even know if that's French, but
it's French bread.
Yeah, we do like French bread.
There you go. You got this. You don't need help. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. 2 laps remaining if we can keep it green for the next 5 miles. 21 Tyler King, whole shot. Talk about giving yourself the best possible chance here. He's going to ultimately have to drop behind the 29 because the inside has the advantage on the first lap of any restart at a super speedway venue. And he's blinky all the way through. That's not going to be good for the connection. For this race, the scrutiny on iRacing kicks you out if you have some blinking issues. We'll see how that looks like. Here comes Childress. Going to bring Jake Penagoro. 2 trucks on the outside, 5 on the bottom. The 39 is going to be at the door panel. The race leader off the board.
Interesting is it's going to be one to go. If they can just get to that line, it will be all bets off. It will be a race to the end. And Jeremy, I think we might actually do it. There it is. White flag goes out.
There it is. White flag one to go, presented by CRN. Just for Wesley's sake, there is Jake Penagoro 3 wide. Got Brian Barnes on the outside. Oh, the 21 Tyler King blinks out, blinks in. He has to give it up. Race is over for the 21. Barely going to make a top 10 if he can get that back up and going together. The 39 get right in the middle here. Going to bring John Ottenbacher. Going to block Jake Penagoro. Big block. They both make it happen. They squeak in front of Ryan Bay, the 29. Frank Harris leading the charge on the second lane. 3 wide. Brian Barnes is going to try to take Ray Partridge with him, and Tom Wygant off of turn 4 for the final time. They're wrecking for 10th place. 39 versus the 10. Does the 29 squeak through? We're going to be 2 wide, potentially 3 at the line. Contact race leaders. Jake Penagoro is going to win tonight's race as they are causing complete chaos at the start-finish line.
Oh, they're still right.
No. Like, oh, did you see that piece of his truck just fly into space?
It's a rear bumper.
That bumper clip. Clearance for orbit launch.
This, folks, is why you clear the fence during racing.
I'm glad there's not a fan on that fence. That neck would have been clean cut right off there. Man, that was crazy, but your race winner truck number 10, one of only three Rams. 3 Rams in this field, and one of them wins. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first Ram victory of the season. I'll have to try to fact check myself on that. That's pretty crazy. 34 entries. Only 3 of them are Rams, and 1 happens to get the win. The other one finishes in 5th place. 2 Rams in the top 5. That being Brian Barnes in truck number 4. So congratulations to Jake Pintagoro. Not only did he win the race, he was first place. He took pole. So he starts first, he finishes first. Ryan Bay starts second, he finishes second. And then Josh Childress rounds out the top 3 here as we're getting the big burnouts from the number 10 in the grass. Not wanting to collect smoke, he wants to do it and kick up the dirt.
Yeah, I'm curious how our high five salute's going to work. Okay, he's getting on there because it's kind of hard to keep your car straight in the dirt. So we'll see. I don't even. Is there anyone even left for a high five salute after that wreck at the end?
The last truck that drove by had a hood in their windshield, so I'm not too sure what that looks like. We're gonna wait to see what this high five salute does look like. It's not gonna be an eventful one, that's for sure. See if we can get at least one good whack in here.
There are currently at least 6 drivers doing 100.
There we go.
They're not doing 100 anymore.
Oh, Trevor William Fletchner. Oh my, yeah, the 12 just got obliterated. He's not even the race winner.
No, he got
just
the
obliterated him.
All
right.
There's a hood.
Who else is gonna file in here? They're kind of just wrecking each other like it's a demo derby at this point. No rhyme or reason happening with half the wrecks piling up over here, and that's it. That is your high five salute, and this is your unofficial results here this evening. So Jake Pinagaro, Ryan Bay, Josh Childers, talking to them here momentarily. Paul Newton and Brian Barnes completes the top 5, 6 through 10. Trevor Fetchner, Ray Partridge, Frank Harris, Gary Nichols, and Tyler King complete the top 10. And you got 11 through 20. Stephen Paulson at 11th. Calman Georgi in 12th. Kevin Smith 13. Dan West P14. Troy Daggett in 15th. Jeff Stabnow finishes in 16th. 17th is Dylan Matthews. Then you got Tim Garski, Devin West. Sean Breitzman completes the top 20. 21st on back is Tom Wygant, Seth Cooper, Bryce Dickman, Jason Leake, Ryan McLeod in 25th. 26th is John Ottenbacher, Taylor Alto, Dennis Moore, Dylan Matthews, Kyle Matthews is in 30th, and Travis Barnes, Dana Rogers, Toby Ritters, and Nate Garski completes the 34 entry here for Talladega. So we're going to try to see if we can get our top 3 in here. See if we can pull them in here. Ryan Bay, Josh Childress. See, there's one. I'm going to put him in the waiting room. And Childress. I'd usually have Wesley doing this for me.
I got Childress for us.
He's got Childress. Does Jake Pinagoro join the Discord?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's in here or not with us.
He's not. A race winner currently not in Discord, so we might have to do a little reverse here. We usually talk to the race winner first, but we're going to take one little scan here just to verify. We'll give him all the chance possible. And no, he's not in here. Okay, well, post-race is underway, so we're going to see if he joins in. If he does, I'll pull him in at any moment that he pops in, but we're going to start this thing off A little different here. Josh Childress, Ryan Bay, we got in the booth right now. Second and third place finisher, still waiting on our race winner, Jake Pinagoro. But we're going to start with second place. Ryan Bay, man, started second. We thought you had probably the best truck. You led the most laps. You did everything you could. One position shy. What could have you done different, man?
You know, if Jake doesn't show up in an interview, I think I should get first place. I think that's the deal, right?
You heard it first.
Yep. No, man, it was a good race. Honestly, I'm perfectly happy with second. We had some really good race hanging up front the entire race. That was my plan, like I told you guys at the stage, and ended up working out. I'm just glad we didn't wreck. We got some good points. I would have loved to win, but that was great racing up there, and I'm just happy that I was able to stick to my plan and stay up there and execute.
Yeah, it was just a flawless job on your part there, just doing everything you could. How the truck seemed like after a few laps were underneath the belts and the rear ends got a little bit lighter, just the handling on these trucks, they were all over the place left and right. Was there a lot of turbulence out there? Was it just the setup? What do you think was causing all the motion in the field?
Honestly, I don't want this to sound like I'm bragging. I don't know because I was up front the whole race. So my teammates in my chat were saying things were getting a bit squirrely back there. But things were pretty stable for me. I was able to keep clean air on the nose pretty much the whole race, so that helped a lot. But yeah, it definitely looked like things got squirrely especially as people, when you had guys on the front and back of you, it was really tough to keep it straight. So I think there was definitely something to that there. But yeah, luckily we're able to keep it sort of stable up front tonight.
Hey, not having an answer for that question is a good thing to know. And downforce is fantastic in your favor when you're leading up there with all the air on your nose, man. Congrats on second place. Any shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, thanks to my wife as always. Thanks to you guys in the booth. Thanks to Sean, Jeff, and everyone at the league. Check out Noom.app. And thanks to everyone running up front for running a clean and fun race tonight. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And now we're going to turn our attention to our third place finisher, Josh Childress, man. Up 3 spots from your 6th place starting position. You got involved in a couple wrecks. That one wreck where you got slapped into the outside wall pretty hard, I thought that might have been a top 5 ender, but somehow you recovered to P3. How much damage did you have, and how did you recover?
Yeah, hey guys. I got 7.5 minutes of damage out of that, and my wheel was turned to 10 o'clock. So every caution I just went in, and I could get about a minute and a half, minute 45 fixed, and just kept doing it every caution, and it finally fixed all the damage with 2 cautions to go, and just was able to hammer down, fly like an eagle.
7 minutes plus damage. A wheel that was 2 ticks of the clock to one direction, and that's how it finished. Was your wheel that far out of whack as you crossed the line tonight?
No, sir. I was able to get all the damage fixed, and then it was straight up again. But pretty much the whole race, it was at 10 o'clock, and then it'd go to 11 o'clock, and then finally when I got it fixed, it was back to noon.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad you're able to get that fully repaired. That's awesome to hear. Able to complete that 3rd place finish. How was the race before the wreck, though? How was it from your view?
Oh, it was pretty good. I was just trying to not wreck Ryan, but, push him and kind of learn where to and where not to push. The trucks were pretty stable, like he said up front, but once you got back in the dirty air, it get a little aero tight or, free up or, just little stuff like that. But if it was at Daytona, I probably would have had the W.
Yeah, no kidding there, right? You just needed that front stretch a few hundred feet shorter, and it could have been yours for sure. But congratulations, top 3. Great finish overall, considering the damage and everything right there. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Shout out any sponsors or anybody that's watching.
Oh, yeah. Plum Perfect, CED, Chevrolet, Georgie's Highway to Hobbies. Brian and Jake, congrats. It was a fun race. And Troy, Taylor, they got wrecked out too. So just thanks to you guys up in the booth for putting on a good show, and I can't wait to watch it on my iPhone.
There you go, man. On the iPhone specifically. Big shout out to you, Josh, for that. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. We'll catch you Thursday.
Sounds good. You guys too.
Thank you. That was Josh Childress, P3 finisher here tonight. And your race winner, still not in Discord, so we're going to have to end the interview portion of the show here this evening with your second and third place. It's been probably a long time since we've not had our winner in here, but all good things must come to an, I guess, on that notion. Thank you, Cody, Charles, whatever you want to name yourself. We might be flip-flopping some names since you, call out all the wreckers, essentially. But
Charles no longer exists. He's a jinx.
he's just a jinx at this point. Well, your race winner is 53, or position 53 in points after only one start. So he's 401 points out. Now he's going to have a lot more points coming his way here to start next week. But we're going to close out the show here tonight. Thank you guys, 20 plus viewers on YouTube. Great to see, and some chats are being thrown around. So I love to see it. Bring all the action back to Dega here this Thursday coming up, 11:15 Eastern, 8:15 Western time. And you guys have a good rest of your night, and we'll catch you then.